Hey, you guys, what's going on? It's a little nippy this morning, so I'm a little cool. But anyway, coming back with another video, you guys. For those that don't know me, I'm Fabio Hart over here at official Fabio Hart on YouTube. Look, you guys, what I want to talk about on this morning video, I felt compelled this morning. I got in the car, I'm like, well, uh, what could I talk about? And there's a difference between me, right? And a lot of other subscribers here. And the difference is, good morning. And the difference is, guys, is that I don't get tired. And I don't mean that in a literal form. I'm still, human like everybody else. But so many of my subscribers wear themselves down because they don't focus on a system. They do not focus on a system. Whereas I focus on a system. Okay. Now I know in the early on stages when you first starting out, the hardest thing to think about is a system, right? Like you trying to get new contracts, you're trying to get new business, you're trying to get organized and everything like that. So here's the thing: I find that a lot of commercial cleaners and residential cleaners burn themselves out, and they become a self-employed slave. A self-employed slave. What that means is basically they're doing all the work themselves, right? They don't have a system. They're not even focusing on a system or developing or building a system. 340 here it's in Seattle. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. They don't focus on a system. Therefore, what happens is that when they go out and get these contracts, right? They tend to work these contracts for a very, very long time and wound up losing those contracts that they worked so hard for. And I know this only because of my subscribers. I know how it was in the early on stages for me. I was just a little bit more determined than other folks, right? Because I knew I had to win. Like I had to get this thing, I had to get it down to a science to a certain degree, right? But it was not easy. I'll be lying to you if I get on the camera and tell you, hey, it's going to be easy. You can do this. It's going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. But you guys have to start at least starting like developing a system. Okay, developing a system. Now I wish I can give you the magic formula for the system right here on this video. The irony is, guys, is that everybody company is different. We're in different parts of the country or even the world, right? Everybody dynamic is different. Everybody personal life is different. Some people have kids, some don't. Some people are married, some are single, right? It's a lot of different things that go into this. So there's no one set formula that I can give you to set up a system, you know. Now, what you can do is I can tell you what I do, and you can kind of pick and choose what works for you, and then integrate that into your system, right? If you feel like it'll work for you, you can kind of integrate some of the things that I do and make it work for you in your system. But you have to know before you can even think about a system, you have to get out of this self-employed slavery mindset. Okay? Some of you guys are just afraid to hire people because you don't want the if they mess up factor, right? If they mess up, if they cause you heartache, if they do this, or if they get it wrong, or you just don't want to delegate. You don't want to delegate this out to anybody because you work so hard to get this contract. Look, guys, like I say, I have met people who has never that owns a commercial cleaning company, right? Who has never ever worked in the business. They never did the mopping, they never did the sweeping. They're always been like the administrator. They started, they got the legal structure out the way, they got everything out the way, right? They do the marketing, they do the walkthroughs, and then they put a body in there. Now, I don't particularly like that formula because I like to know what's going on in a facility, but I know people who has done that and became very successful with their commercial cleaning business. So many of my residential cleaning people, they burn themselves out. They get these contracts and it's good money, right? You can make 1,000, 1,500, right? And then this is real serious, and that's on the low side. You can make a really, really good money with residential cleaning at least $1,000 a week, no cap, as they like to say, right? But the thing is, the more contracts you pick up, the more you have to focus on, right? Because you don't want to lose contracts, so you got to focus on not making mistakes, right? Which is going to come with time. You also have to focus on, making sure you're on your right schedule, right? Not only on in your personal life, but with your business. You understand? So, like I say, a lot of times people slave themselves to their business. The reason I don't get tired is because I delegate this work out. Everybody is a risk. I was a risk at one point to an employer, right? Because they didn't know what my job performance was going to be like, right? But they hired me, and in due time, they seen, okay, Fabio is a good worker, right? He shows up on time. He do what's asked of him to do, etc., right? So you guys have to get out of that mindset. So many people I talk to on the phone, they say, "Hey, how many employees you got?" Well, I don't want to hire right now because, this, I don't want to. Here's the thing, you have to take a risk. Entrepreneurs are real risk takers. Okay, when you sign up a contract, even if you do the formula that I use, which is the 30-day in, 30, 60-day in, where I work 30, 60 days in and I delegate it out, right? You can hire somebody to work with you, right? And you can show them as you grow, right? They pick it up, they understand what's going on in this building, especially if it's a smaller, medium-sized building, you can learn that quickly, right? So you'll be able to train somebody efficiently, effectively, right? And put them in that building and have them work, right? That way, that'll create more time for you to go attract more business. It'll create more time for you to look at other administration parts and other sectors of your business, right? And not necessarily focus on the actual cleaning part. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to get you guys in a mindset where you don't focus on the cleaning, you don't do the cleaning, you solely going to be part of the administration. Okay. You need to cover all areas of the business, all aspects of the business. Good morning. You need to cover all aspects of your business. But like I said, the thing is that so many people lose contracts because they got tired. They became self-employed slaves. They slaved themselves to their own business. They didn't never become an entrepreneur. It's a difference between entrepreneurship and slave. Okay, self-employment. It's a difference. Entrepreneurs govern things. They govern things. Bill Gates, he's an entrepreneur. He governs things, right? Jeff Bezos, he governs things. Now the lady that, let's take the Chaldeans, not to offend anybody. They entrepreneurs. They have that mindset, but they work within the business, right? A lot of times the dad is at the store, the corner store, right? The candy shop, the mom and pop candy shop. They're there, right? They self-employed, right? It's a brick and mortar, right? You walk in, it's a brick and mortar, but they self-employed, right? But the big money is when you're an entrepreneur, when you can delegate something out, train somebody effectively and efficiently, and be able to let them do their thing. Not watching over their shoulders every few minutes, right? You got to learn how to do that, guys. That was the hardest thing for me to do, so I understand the mindset behind that. That was the hardest thing for me to do, especially when I did all of this legwork. I went all of this door to door. I picked up the phones. I passed out flyers. I did everything, right? I had these little cards and all of this stuff, right? So I understand you work so hard just to put somebody that you may or may not know, and then they fuck it up for you. Excuse my French, but then they mess it up for you, and now the people want to get rid of you. And you're like, man, I put all this work in just to have that happen. Okay, so yes, it's a difference working at a company. Right, right. It's a difference. So you like I put all this work in just to have somebody mess it up. So guys, you have to get out of that mindset. You have to get out of that mindset. I so many people that I talk to, they say, well, Fabio, I don't want to be the worker. Like I don't want to go for it. Go for it. Don't see what I did. I did what felt comfortable with me. And if what felt comfortable with me was working 30 days in or 60 days in, or 30, 60 days, usually no more than 60 days into the business, I trained myself. It allowed me to get a month or two full of payments, right? So I can put that revenue up. So when it's time to hire somebody, I had that covered. A lot of you guys focus on that. Well, I don't have the money. Here's the thing: when you're building on that net 30, right? You can pay your employee however you want to pay them. There's many companies out there that pay their employee once a month. Okay, they pay their agreed upon once a month, right? Here, we're gonna 1099 you. You're gonna get this set dollar amount once a month. Okay, there's some people like my company that do W-2s, right? And we pay bi-weekly. So you have to figure out what works for you, how you have money coming in. I had some people that pay out of their own personal check with their with their employer, right? So they say, well, Fabio, the money haven't rolled in yet, but I make enough with my employer to be able to pay my employee until I get that net 30 that come in. Then that net 30 come in, you kind of get the ball rolling. You have to be strategic. Entrepreneurs think. When I tell you they think, they don't wait on anybody to tell them what to do or look at a video or anything like that. If it feel comfortable with them, they feel confident about the decision, they go with the decision. They take a risk. Okay? They take a risk. But you're never going to be successful if you become a slave to your own business. I'm going to tell you that now because the room for growth is few and far between, right? Because you're always working in the business. So if you're always working at the site, you're always working at the site, you're always working at the site, by the time you get home, you're going to be so tired. So then you're going to go to sleep, and then you're going to sleep 4, 5, 6, 7 hours or however long, and you're going to wake up and your day is going to be gone, right? You're not going to be able to get that momentum back. You're not going to be able to get out and solicit for new contracts, right? Because you was too tired, you was sleepy, right? You didn't have the energy to do it. When you guys see me at the site, I'm governing things, right? When I'm on live and you see me at that building, right, I'm governing things. I have employees at that building already. Now, if they need my assistance, I'll show them how to do a proper mop job, and how to sweep if they didn't know how to do that, but they properly trained, right? So all I got to do is look at a camera and say, hey, this is what's going on. I'm looking at cameras. I can zoom in on them, see what they're doing right there from my desk, right? I'll leave one building, go to, because it's 4 buildings. That one contract is 4 buildings. So I'll just walk down the street to the other building. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hey, you missed that over there. Hey, why don't you do that? Hey, you forgot the trash out back. Hey, you didn't close the trash, the canister to the dumpster, right? Like, so it's a lot of, I just governing things, okay? I don't necessarily slang them up. When I go and check on the accounts, I'm checking on what the employees have done or didn't do, right? I'm checking in with my contact person. Hey, Miss Stewart, how's everything? Everything is great? Great. Okay, I was just stopping by checking on things. Then I go to the next account. Hey, Mr. Jackson, how's everything? Everything is great? Great. And then I take a quick walk through, make sure everything, make a few notes, right? And then I'll shoot them a text. Hey, I was at the account today. I noticed this and this and this. Hey, you want to jump on that as soon as possible? They didn't complain and they didn't say anything, but that's something that I noticed. You want to go ahead and take care of that. I'll shoot them a text right away. See, again, that's the mindset that I have, guys. And that was developed over time. See, early on, I didn't burn myself out. I had like 10 accounts and like 2 employees, or 3 if you count myself, right? And I'm talking about in the very beginning. I used the same 2 people for so long because, like I said, I got used to them. They were showing up on time. I didn't have this big payroll, massive payroll, right? I told them, hey, it's always room for growth. I told them there's always room for more hours. As I would pick up new contracts, that would give them more hours. So if they was money motivated, like the 2 that I had in the very beginning, they were very, determined. They was willing to work for me. I can call them, hey, can you come in and do this? Hey, we got this new site. We're going to be training for it next week. Do you want to pick up more hours? If they didn't want to pick up more hours, cool, not a problem. I will work in there. But see, I spread things out. I didn't spread myself thin, but I spread things out, right? Between me and those other 2, I didn't get burned out. I would pick up another account, work 30 days in, put a body in there. I had one of my subscribers, he said, man, the account was so small. It was like such an easy clean. Shit, I only worked like 12 days. And I put it, sometimes it's like that. If you got the grasp of it, the building, it's not that big, it's not that technical, whatever the case is, guys, you might be able to go on there, learn it really quick, and you might be able to put somebody in there in 7 days. Okay. The only reason I did the 30 days in, the 60 days in, is because I wanted to get that revenue, right? So if I work fully for 30 days to 60 days, I don't have to pay that out to anybody. You just got to pay your taxes, your overhead, and you don't have an employee because you are the employee. So that's why I did that, right? That's why I was able to save so much money. So when it was time for me to hire somebody, I had those funds available to hire, to pay out, right? To hire someone. So you guys, again, you don't have to necessarily use my strategy. Okay. You don't have to do the 30 days in, the 60 days in. I usually didn't go past 30 days because I'm a fast learner, but some accounts was a little bit more technical, or I was being a little cheap. So I would work 60 days in. That's 2 months of payments, right? You net 30, that's 2 months of payments. 60 days in, that revenue, after 60 days, I'm ready to hire somebody. I was always accepting applications. So as I was working, I wasn't necessarily putting people in those sites, but I was collecting applications. So when I was ready to put somebody in the sites, I had a stack of applications to work from. I always tell people all the time, and a lot of you guys just don't listen to me when I tell you this, but it's paramount that you listen. You would rather have more applications than, and other people might tell you different, but this is my logic. You would rather have more applications than you have sites. You would rather have more applications than you have sites. And the reason being is because if you have no applications, no applicants, nobody filled out an application, and then you pick up two sites today, right? You're doing door to door. You probably don't not even expecting to pick these sites up, right? You pick up two sites, you give them two offers, they say, okay, great, we want to go with you. You don't have no applications. So now you're thinking like, oh shit, I gotta work, I got a job, I got the children, I wasn't expecting this. What am I gonna do? Right? I need to hire somebody. Now you're about to hire somebody off an impulse. Most likely, and we all have done this before. I know I've done it before, for sure. You're gonna hire the first person to walk in the door. And that might be the most terrible person in the world. But you're going to give them a chance. You're going to hire them because you're hiring off an impulse. You got to hurry up and hire somebody quickly because you got a job, you got these children, right? You're not going to be able to do this. You really wasn't expecting them to, hire you so quickly after you turned your numbers in, and it just happened that quickly. Sometimes it happened that quickly. I've walked in accounts where they asked me to start today, right? How much do you think it's going to cost us? Yada, yada, yada. Whatever it is, we want you to start today. Do you think you're able to get your numbers in today before the end of the day? We want you to start this evening. It happens, especially with those smaller to medium-sized counts. Here, let me show you what we need done. This is what we need done. This is what need to be done. There, do you give you the walkthrough, tell you what need to be done, and some of them sometimes will ask you to start the same day. What are you going to do? Right? Again, if you have more applications than you have sites, you have a selection to pick from. You won't hire the first thing, right? Because you have a stack of applications to work from. That's just my logic. Now if you got a better game plan than I do, cool. Cool. If you got a better game plan to pick up accounts than I do, cool. Whatever works for you. But start building a system. McDonald's is a system. They make the cheeseburger the same way every time you go. Now, it may not always be fresh, but they make it the same way. Every time you go, they make the fish fillet the same way. Every McDonald's you go to, it's a system. It's a system. Start building you guys a system. I'm telling you, some of you guys do one thing one day and you don't do nothing the next day. You don't do nothing the next day. Okay? You have to start building yourself a system or you're not going to be successful. Everything from construction companies to you name it, everything is a system. The car manufacturers, it's a system. It's a system. They build the Ford Focus the same way wherever. They don't put the only time they do something different is maybe a foreign car, right? The steering wheel might be on another side of the, not the usual side that you're accustomed to, might be on the right side, right? But for the most part, you guys get what I'm saying. Even with the foreign car, the BMWs, the Maybachs, the Maseratis, they build it the same way. They build it the same way. They might change the color scheme in the inside, right? The seats might be different colors, right? Just to change it up. But for the most part, everything under the hood, everything, the dynamics on the dashboard, everything is the same. It's a system. It's a system. And that's why they're so successful. When you have a system, it becomes successful. I have a system in place. It's something that I developed. It works for me. Okay? That's how I'm able to do what I do in Georgia, do what I do in Ohio, do what I do in Michigan. I have a system, guys. And those people pay out every single month, month after month, month after month. I'm like Bone Thugs and Harmony, Busy Bone and all. I can't wait till the first of the month. It's just I'm going to get a different type of first of the month check, right? But essentially, like I say, it's a system. I don't have any problems with them paying. I got a few people say they have problems with people paying. I don't have problems with people paying, right? The thing is because I set up I got different things in place, right? I got great customer service. And I know we're kind of going off a topic, but all of this stuff links in. It all is tied back into being self-employed versus being an entrepreneur. Do not slave in your business. It will stress you out. It will make you tired and you will give up. Do not slave in your commercial or residential business because it will frustrate you, tire you out, and you will give up. There's only a few Fabio Harts out there where you keep going and you're really tired, but you're going to keep going because you know at some point you can make this pop. A lot of people will get frustrated. Like, I don't have any children. Most of you guys, a lot of you guys do have children, right? So now you have to set different parameters and set up different structures and different things because you have children. You got latchkey, you got daycare, right? You have a baby daddy, you have a husband, right? You have to do this. You have to offset his schedule with your schedule. You have to start this over and do this. And, you know, mom can't do it, but grandma can do it. Grandma's kind of sick. It's a lot going on, guys. I done heard a lot of different stories, right? But like I say, if you want it as bad as you want to breathe, you will find a way to develop yourself a system. You watch all of the YouTube videos with all of the YouTubers in the commercial and residential sector of business, right? And they all have different points of view, right? If you see something that works from Fabio, you can take a little from me, a little from such and such, a little from such and such, and you can put together your system. Okay? Like I say, I only did what came natural to me in the beginning, what looked right, what felt good, right? And I continued to do it. So I developed my own system. When I first started getting contracts, guys, I had my little cleaning shirt and, you know, I was very professional. I perfected the look and everything. And they thought I was a franchise because I guess I had that franchise type of swag, right? Franchises, we could say about them, they do look good, right? They have the whole little thing, right? The shirt, they look good with the baseball cap and everything. They look great. Now they do shitty work, but they look great. So when I walk in the door, I had that little swag of a franchise. And I let them know I'm totally independent. And they looking like, wow, right? Because I put together the system on my head. I had an idea how I wanted to look. So I just duplicated that same idea in my employees. Hey, you have to wear this color. This is going to be the shirt. We're going to supply the shirt. This is going to be the baseball cap you're going to wear. Or this is what you have to wear, right? Some sites we have, they want you to have a badge with the name, the badge with your name on it, right? So some of them, they take the picture of my employee, right? They do that in-house, and it has my company name on it and have their name on it. And then a lot of sites, you don't have to have that, right? But I was flexible. I would say, okay, yeah, we can do this. They take the picture, they do, get your little name tag and go with the flow. Okay, again, everything is a system. And you have to be able to multitask. Okay, if you're not able to multitask, I'm really not sure if this is going to be for you. Because you got to make sure, essentially, you get checks right. You got to make sure that you got, solutions and chemicals, right? Cleaning. You got to make sure the vacs work, right? You got to deal with payroll and time cards and that type of thing, right? You have to be able to go out and get new contracts. Guys, again, you're not going to just be dealing with black people, with Arabic people. You got to be able to, get in where you fit in, right? You got to be able to get in where you fit in. I mean, you have to be able to deal with all types of people. This is a people business. So many people say, Fabio, I don't like dealing with people. Don't do this business. Get an online business where you don't have to see anybody, right? Start a Shopify store. Sell hair, I don't know, erasers, I don't know, right? I don't know, clothing, shoes, sneakers. I don't know what to tell you, right? But get a business online, right? Because you post the ad and advertise it on Facebook, YouTube, and all that stuff, right? Drive sales, right? Whatever you got to do, advertise your store, and bam, you start getting sales, revenue come in, right? But you don't necessarily have to talk to anybody. That's the business for you, or it's something else, right? Somewhere behind the scenes. But in this business, you're dealing with people. You're dealing with employees. You're dealing with subcontractors in many cases, and you're dealing with your clients. Okay, so if you don't like doing that, and this is, you're not into people, Fabio, I don't like picking up the phones. Why? Because I don't want to get hung up on, well, you don't want to do business. This is not for you. It's not for you. You could continue to watch my videos, right? Because what I'm saying applies to other business, right? You could apply to brick and mortar, could apply to business as a whole, right? You don't necessarily got to watch me and say, okay, well, I got to start up a cleaning business because he's a cleaning guy. He does cleaning, right? You can apply this to a security company, to whatever company, right? The dynamics is the same. You just be in a different industry. Guys, I'm telling you, because I hear the frustration in the phone calls, develop a system. Develop a system. I'm not going to tell you to develop it quickly, but approach it slowly, right? Whatever, if you're doing something and it works, continue to do it. There's so many people that told me a lot of things that I've never even tried, never even done, but it works for them. And I tell them, hey, don't let me talk you out of that. If it's working for you, continue to do it. Right? Because I'm not this big cleaning guru, like I know everything, right? I don't know everything that there is, to know about. I'm still learning myself. If I find something, I do something, I test something out, it works, great. I keep doing it. If it doesn't work, cool. I don't do it no more. Okay? So let me see if you guys have any questions here. Right. Dion, hey, how are you? DJ the boss. Okay, he said he has let's see. Let's see here. Strong foundation. He said he has an interview tomorrow. On Thursday. Right. Can work 300 basic math. You can bill for 300 hours. Right. 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 You guys have any questions for me? Let me know if you guys have any questions for me. I want to make sure you guys get this. Also, I got an email from somebody yesterday. They got screwed over in a contract. Well, two different emails in a contract. Guys, get your paperwork up. Get your paperwork up. Again, stop doing things on a handshake. We living in a society today. Do you have any advice on? Do you have any advice on steps to start a system? Yeah. Watch. I don't know if you're a new subscriber or an old subscriber. You might be a new subscriber, Dion, but I would say watch some of my older videos, because the stuff that I talk about in those videos still apply in today's marketplace. It's not like so old or anything, right? Because I can go on and on, but I got separate videos where I talk about separate things, and I think that'll be very, very impactful. I know it will. I know it will. A lot of people that watch me and subscribe to me watch me on their lunchtime, or in their leisure time. They sit down with a pen and a pad, because the videos are so long and it's so detailed. I give so much information, right? Whether it's dealing with payroll, whether it's dealing with employees, whether it's marketing and my system. I kind of give my system, my formula on how I pick up new contracts. And there's in a lot of those videos, right? So I would probably suggest that you watch some of the older videos. Just click on them. Yeah, just click on them. But like I said, guys, I want to make sure that you guys understand what it is I'm talking about, because I would hate for you guys to get burned out. Like I was saying, I had 2 emails yesterday from people that was like, Fabio, what should I do? I didn't sign a contract with this person. I put in an offer, I put in a proposal, or I did a bid, or I gave an estimate, but after that, they just hired me. I didn't sign a contract. I said, well, what was the conditions? Like, what was the conditions? Oh, well, they just told me they wanted me to do this, and they accept my numbers. They said my numbers was fine, and I didn't sign a contract. So I said, you didn't sign a contract, so you don't know, how are you supposed to get paid? Like, you don't have on paper how you're supposed to get paid. Is it a net 30? Is it a net 15? Like, you don't know how you like, there's no conditions in there. I say you're gambling, you're gambling a wrong battle, because you can F something up and then they'll hold you responsible for it. You go to court, you don't have a contract, you don't have I don't like to really call it a contract. I like to call it just a service agreement. Have a service agreement, and then they win. The bigger company, the chances are they're going to say, well, sir, you're in the cleaning business, right? You don't do agreements. You don't have contracts. You don't have agreements. I had 2 people hit me up yesterday, one residential and one commercial. The residential was talking about, taking some type of action against one of my subscribers, but they didn't have an agreement. You have to have some type of thing that they need to sign off of. Okay? Again, guys, get your paperwork. Get your same thing I tell people, these documents is very important. Get your paperwork up. Okay, however you get it, get your paperwork up. Non-disclosures, right? Have your vendors sign non-disclosures. Your employees, non-disclosures. Non-compete, right? When I first started, I didn't even have those items. It wasn't until I got fucked over, and you guys heard the story, what happened to me. I had several people try to steal accounts, employees, right? I didn't even think to have a non-compete or a non-disclosure agreement. I didn't even think to have anything like that. I had an application, I had a service agreement, and that was pretty much it. Invoices and little things like that I know that I would need to, invoice my clients with, but I didn't have a non-compete, a non-disclosure. And then I learned, like, early on, like, man, I better have this, because I'm getting jerked off. So again, guys, focus on that too. I mean, if you got time and space, say, you know what, let me start gathering my paperwork up. Let me start, kind of getting this stuff together. Because I'm trying to tell you guys, I don't know why you keep, playing with this idea, but you never know when somebody's going to find you on Google give you a call. And once you give an estimate, accept your numbers. You never know when you're going to go door to door. You never know when you're going to pick up the phones and somebody's going to ask you to come in. You're going to give your numbers and they're going to want to hire you. See, I think a lot of you guys go door to door with the notion that, oh, you know, I'm just putting in work. I'm trying to get, but you don't think you're going to get the contract because you haven't gotten one. So you probably think I'm not going to get this contract. And then you put your numbers in, you think, well, I'm probably too high or too low. They're not going to hire me. And then they're ready to hire you. And I don't care if it's a $200 account, guys, and I don't care if it's a $2,000 account. The dynamics is still the same. Make sure you put them on a service agreement. Your subcontractors, make sure you have a subcontractors agreement. Okay, this stuff is very, very important. Make sure you have your employees fill out an application. Make sure you have invoices. You want to be able to invoice them and make sure the invoice is in on time. Because when that invoice is not in on time, that plays with your money. You're going to get paid late. Okay? Make sure you have a set formula for your estimate. I don't care if you're doing work loading, which I'm against, right? Or you have another method of, you know, collecting the data and putting your numbers together for your estimate, or whether you, anything like me, you have an estimate breakdown formula, or whatever the case is. Make sure you, again, this is part of your system. This is part of your system. You should always have this stuff ready to go. You should always have this stuff ready to go. Business cards, make sure you have business cards, right? It's not professional to tell somebody, oh, you know, I gave my last business card out. You should, oh, I can, in my glove box right now, I can reach in there, I got business cards. In this folder right here, guys, this is my new folder right here. You see how thick this is? This 5-star. Guess where I got it from? They have a store in my area called Myers. I don't know if they got Myers in your area, but it's like a grocery store, superstore, almost like a mini Walmart. That's where I got this from. Guess what's in here? Guess what's in here, guys? I usually keep it on the back of the seat. Guess what's in here? Contracts, flyers, postcards, agreements, invoices, non-compete, non-disclosures, applications. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. I'm not playing no games. Because I can walk into a building right on this block right now. This is all apartments right here. You can't see what I see. But this is all apartments. I can walk in here and they can say, yes, we want to hire you to do the move out. We want to hire you to do cleanup. I have to be ready, guys. I have to be. I had another one in this. It was so old. I just bought this one recently. But the other one was so old through wear and tear, right? I took everything out, put it in here. I have ink pens. I have pencils. I have a calculator in the glove box. Because I never know. I might have to sit here and crunch numbers. Okay? Again, guys, you have to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to be ready. You never know when the opportunity will present itself, and you got to be ready to seize it when it does. You have to be ready to seize it when it does. Get your paperwork in order. Get your paperwork. If you're not doing anything else, if you know legitimize your business, right? You got your DBA, got your EIN number, your tax number, you got your bank account set up, you got everything, you got all of that stuff out the way. You got your insurance, maybe, you bonded, you got all of this stuff out the way. Focus on the paperwork. Gather the paperwork, make copies of the paperwork, keep it with you in your vehicle. You don't have to be a folder like this necessarily. Get in one of them paper folders, them little 79-cent folders, right? In different color folders, right? Yeah, my applications in this color red, my contracts in color blue, right? Whatever you got to do, okay? But you want to be ready to seize the moment when the opportunity presents itself. It's nothing worse than saying, oh, I got to go home, or, you know, I'm all out of business cards and I don't have any more flyers. They say, hey, do you have a flyer? Do you have, you know, I'm waiting. I got them on back order. You should always have flyers, guys. You shouldn't let them get that load to the point where you're running out and then you got to hurry up. Or you see it getting thin, order some more, right? It don't hurt to have them around. You don't have to do 1,000, do 200, right? 250, right? If the budget is kind of low, do 100. Go to the little copy shop and say, hey, I need 50 of these, right? This is just to hold you over until you get them all in, until till your net 30, your revenue come in, you can invest back in it, right? But it's never good to say, I don't have any more business cards. I don't have any more flyers. Or Fabio, I ordered your paperwork, but I'm gonna need you to send me that form back because what happened was my granddaughter, she ate the last one and she puked on the last. Come on, guys. You'll be amazed at how many stories I got like that where, we send you the document, right? All you have to do is just reproduce it, right? You just copy it. You copy it 10 at a time, 20, whatever you do, right? Guys, I need some likes on this video. I don't have any likes. I'm bringing this powerful information to you guys. I need some likes. Let's get those likes up. Okay? Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I greatly appreciate you all. I love you all. But I've had people tell me the dog messed the paperwork up, the baby puked on the paper, whatever the case was. So we didn't recharge them just because they already bought it, right? So we just sent it back out to them. But I have that. I say, hey, make sure you put this up. This is very important. This is like your Social Security card. This is like your birth certificate, right? This is playing with your money. So you don't want to put this in a way where the dog or where your grandchildren, whatever the case is, right? Where it's going to get messed up. You want to keep it filed. Okay? So I know I jumped off a topic, guys. Like I say, all of this stuff is linked in. It's part of putting your system together, right? From your paperwork to, how you pick up new contracts, right? To your marketing materials, your brochures, your flyers, your postcards, whatever the case is. Okay, all of this stuff goes hand in hand. At the end of the day, I want you guys to focus on developing a system. Focus on developing a system. Like I say, I can't tell you what system to develop because everybody business operate differently, from a different mindset, from a whole different view. So there's no one formula that I can give you, but my formula is through the course of my videos. If you watch my videos, you'll get a great idea how I operate because I explain it all. My videos are so long, right? They go into an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Okay. I just recently underestimated an account. Yeah, that happens a lot, underestimating an account. You have to develop a system. I would suggest you to do a little bit more research. Do a little bit more research. Me, it depends on what it is. Yeah, I would suggest you to do a little bit more research. It depends on well, for me, and what type of cleaning. Yeah, I mean, it's different type of cleanings, right? You got your general cleaning, which is like a basic clean. You got a more extended cleaning, right? Which is, you're doing some extra stuff. I always feel people should be compensated for the extra work, right? A lot of times people get confused from carpeted facilities and non-carpeted facilities as far as how to charge or what to charge. Okay. Me, I tend to like carpeted facilities, right? I think, I get my most money out of those carpet facilities instead of like a tile or non-carpet facility, right? I tend to target small to medium-sized buildings. I make a lot more money with a once-a-week account, a twice-a-week account, and 3 times. I have big accounts, guys. Yeah, I got the big accounts. They bring in the big bucks at the end of the month, right? Or at the top of the month. But those small, medium-sized accounts, they gave me the most freedom. I only have to be in them once a week, twice a week, or 3 times a week. And I'm done. And complete weekly, you probably do 20 hours. Right? A complete week. Even with the once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, you probably do 20 hours or less. and making a very, very decent income. Okay. So again, I'm trying to be fair. I'm trying to be honest in regards of how much money that you can make. You can make a ton of money with this in a very short amount of time, right? With just very minor hour, like short hours, right? It's not like you have to do a whole 8-hour shift. You can make more money in 8 hours than you ever do at an 8-hour shift. And that's if you just got, let's say, two accounts, 4 hours apiece. Two accounts, 4 hours apiece, or not even 4 hours. That's, we just gonna round it up to 4 hours. That's 8 hours right there. Let's say you do those two counts, once a week, right? That's 8 hours a week. You can make more money doing 8 hours a week than you do it in an 8-hour shift, 8-hour shift at work. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. When you guys start getting out there, you're gonna say, "Oh wow, he was right." What I'm billing in 8 hours, for the week with these two 4-hour, per day accounts, you can have two accounts at 4 hours apiece. We just rounded it up to 4 hours, but it may not even take you 4 hours. But let's say at 4 hours apiece, two accounts, that's 8 hours a week. If you only got these two accounts, you could clean house. No cap. Now you got 8-hour work shift. And then they pay you what they want to pay you, $10 an hour, $11 an hour, right? They don't pay you for the lunch. They take the lunch out, right? 15-minute break. They take the break out. They take the lunch out. So you're really not even getting the 8 hours. You get more like 7.5. You understand what I'm saying, guys? Or 7 hours. They took the hour out. So again, guys, you want to, again, man, it's like I say, I can go on and on, give you guys a lot of examples. I'm giving you hard-hitting information. I'm telling you what I know. Okay, either it's something that I went through, it's something one of my associates that have a cleaning business, or I'm telling you things that other commercial cleaners, my subscribers, let me know. Hey, man, I never ran into this. I never had this. Do you know anything about that? They teach me things all the time. I say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not familiar about that. I have to look into it, and then I make myself educated, because I never know when I'm going to bump up against maybe that issue. Again, I don't know everything, but what I share with you guys is what I know. And if you just follow it, right? If you just follow it, execute on what I'm telling you, you will get far. You will get far, but you have to be ready. Whether it's paperwork wise, whether it's employee wise, whether it's collecting applications, right? We talked about that earlier. You want to have more applications than you have job sites, because you don't want to hire off an impulse. Okay. Your banking system, all your payment methods. If you're going to accept credit cards, accept credit cards. Okay. You want to start working on this stuff like now. We accept all method of payments. You want to be able to accept check. You want to accept credit cards. You want to accept, whatever method that's out there. You want to be able to accept methods of payments, right? Because you don't want to leave it where you can't accept this and they're willing to offer this, but you can't accept this, or you can't accept that. I find more business owners is willing to give you the company credit card than ever before. They're willing to give you the credit card than ever before. And all you have to do is do the reoccurring charge on it every single month, right? You're still going to invoice them. You're going to invoice them, and then you bill the credit card. So that's an option. Like if you're in business now, guys, and you're currently getting checks, you can do an attached letter to it. Just put together a quick letter letting them know you now accept, ACH transactions. You can now accept credit cards, all major credit cards, if you can. You have a little form where they can fill it out. You can make the form up. You go to Word, put the form together, or find just a credit card form online somewhere, right? kind of like print it off, use it, right, where they can put their name, the company name, expiration date, the card number, all of that stuff, and then you just have it on file. I have it on file from a paper standpoint, and I have it on file in computer in the database. All my clients from Atlanta, Georgia to Toledo, Ohio to Michigan, I have it in a database, and we also have it in a paper form as a backup, just in case, you know, sometimes technology can crash, things can happen, and the worst thing that could ever happen is you lose that database, right? Your computer go out, spaz out. So that's how I think. I have it in a paper format, and I have it in a database format on the computer, right? So when it's time to bill these clients every single month, you don't have to contact them at all. You just go ahead and you bill that card. You still invoice them though. You make sure you send out the invoice to get the invoice, and then on the day of the first, if that's when payment is due, that's when you charge the card. Okay? So I'm getting a little off, like I say, but I think all this information to help you guys. If you look at the bigger picture, it's a lot easier to, you know, accept credit cards than ever before. Okay? So you get you a processor, you offer that as an option of payment. To me, that should really be the preferred payment, because there's nothing that's more incredible than processing in one day, and you wake up and your bank say you have $10,711.79 in your account, or, you know, deposit in your account, right? That's the most beautiful sound. You know, she talks so slow, but I'm willing to listen. I want to make sure she got all them numbers in there, and this is what you then your transactions, right? It posts usually within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so again, guys, like I say, if you need assistance, if you have an agreement you want me to take a look at, you have a flyer you want me to take a look at, just send it to me. If you have any questions that you might just don't feel comfortable, maybe it's too personal, you don't want to put it here on the live. Some people do wait till I get off live and they email me, right? You can get my coaching. I'll give you a discount. I'm not going to even haggle you over the price. I usually charge $300 an hour, just to let you know. But if you're interested in the coaching, man, I'll give you the coaching. I go back down to my old price to $100, $100 an hour, right? Because it's not about I don't make a profit on it. It's not about that. I want you guys to win. I really do. I really want you guys to win. I don't offer the paperwork, but if someone begged me for it, I won't turn them down. Okay? So, like I say, I don't offer it. I don't promote it. I don't sell it. But I have had people, Fabio, please, can I get your agreement? Can I? And if, you know, they beg me, I won't turn them down. You know, I'd rather see you win, right? With viable paperwork. Okay? Lead generation, we don't offer at all. Okay? So, again, guys, like I say, you know, I want to see you guys win. If you have any questions about anything, don't feel like, oh, he's going to sell me something. Just go ahead and email it. Okay? And when you email me, if it's directed towards me, if it's something that you want me to answer, you want me to leave your number, because all I'm going to do is ask my assistant, Jasmine, to ask you to send your number. I want to talk to you. I like to talk to you. Okay? So you guys could, you know, hear the voice behind the video. Right? So I would rather talk to you guys. You know. So my email, it's bookfabiohart@gmail.com. That's BOOK. F like Frank, A like Apple, B like boy, IOHART bookfabiohart@gmail.com. bookfabiohart@gmail.com. Right? Also, if you guys have any estimates you want me to take a look at, a lot of you guys, you know, been afraid of sending me the estimates because you think you're too low or it's embarrassing or whatever the case is. Let me take a look at your numbers, man. Let me match it up with my estimate breakdown formula, right? There's a lot of factors that come into that. It's a little different depending on where you're at in the country. So the numbers that I have may not necessarily apply to your area, but I can get it. If you're in Cali, I can get a visual. I've helped people in Cali pick up contracts, Seattle and Portland and stuff like that, right? I got a pretty good grab on it once I know what I'm looking at. So if you want me to double look your take a look at your estimate before you turn it in. If you got an estimate that's due today before 5, I don't charge for that, guys. Just book the time with my assistant so we can get it in. So that way we don't wait to the last minute to try to get an estimate in today before 5. If you got any questions that you need answered, like I said, and you don't want to ask me here on the live, email them through. If you want to set up coaching, you want to get an hour coaching, I give it to you for $100. I think that's fair. That's my old price. I give it to you at the old price if you want it. Sit on the phone with you for a whole hour, give you the A to Z on what I do. You take notes, you ask your questions, I give you your answers. I also give resources for free that I haven't gave on YouTube in terms of different outlets you can go after and different things that you can do to help your business grow. Okay. But again, like I said, I get more pleasure out of getting those emails from people to say, Fabio, I got my very first account. It's for $600. Give them a round of applause. Give them a round of applause. I got my first contract. It's $1,100. I got my second contract is coming up, Fabio, thanks to you. Fabio, I got a scrubbing and waxing job. I never did that before. How should I take care of that? I went in for a commercial cleaning bid, and they said they wanted scrubbing and wax, and they said they wanted carpet cleaning. I'm kind of scared, Fabio, because I never did that before. Like, I don't even have the machines, but I told them I'd give them an offer. Again, just hit me up. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. You know, you can outsource it. It's ways that you can get that money. Okay. I don't like to leave no money on the table. Okay. I done took on jobs that I know that I don't offer, like pest control. I done been in people's homes and we're cleaning the homes and they got little roaches and they say, well, be careful because we got mice. You might see mice droppings and this and this and that. Do you guys, you guys do that? Do you guys get rid of pest control? And out the blue, when the lady asked me that, I said, we sure do. Yeah, we definitely can get you together. As soon as I left her house, I just started looking for people that offer that service. I like to deal with smaller companies because they're more flexible with price. They need the business just like I need the service. So they're more flexible. Same thing with my carpet cleaners. They're more flexible. Same thing with my stripping and wax guys, my VCT floor care guys. I like to deal with the smaller guys because they're more flexible. When you try to deal with the giants, it's a lot of red tape, a lot of paperwork. They want it to go their way. They're non-negotiable in many aspects because they're so big. Okay. I like to deal with the guy. He's been doing it for 15 years. He got his own truck mount. He got his own little thing. He knows this business. He's been doing it for so long. I like to deal with that guy because number one, his business might not be making a lot of money, but if he come under contract with me, he'll be making a lot of money, right? Because as I need these jobs done, we definitely going to pay him good. Put him on a subcontractor's agreement. Okay. Same thing with my painters. I was doing apartment clean outs. They say, hey, do you guys paint? We sure do. We sure do. We sure do. We definitely paint. I leave there. I go look for a painter. Well, most of the people that she asked a good question. She said, do they arrive under my company or do they arrive under their company? If they have a company, usually it's usually pretty small anyway, because I deal with more smaller independent contractors. So if they have a company, it's probably no one's really heard about it. It's probably pretty small. They may arrive under their company. I'm assuming when you say arrive, you mean when they do the cleaning or they do the carpet cleaning or they do the paint job or they do the pest control, whatever the case is, they generally arrive under their company. right? Yeah, they generally arrive under their company. Unless, I got one guy, he doesn't necessarily have a company, but he's licensed to do certain services, right? So he has all the right material and equipment, but he's not a company. He's just an independent contractor. He can do the job. He's good at what he does. And he's been working for me for some time now. He's a carpet cleaner. He has the machines and the trucks, and he has all of the whole hookup. No, I generally don't. I generally don't. She asks, do I tell the client that I'm outsourcing the job? I generally don't. No, I usually just go ahead and hire the contractor to get the job done, and I'm usually there on the site as the carpet cleaner or the pest control guys or whatever. I'm usually there on location as they do what they need to do, because a lot of the sites it's after hours, and I have a key and a code, which means I have the key to the business, and I have the code to the alarm system. So if it's after hours and they doing the job and we doing the carpet cleaning job, they don't really care who does the job. They don't necessarily care that you even outsource it. They just want it done, and they want it done right for the amount of money that they paying you. So I'm usually there on location. I might stop. I might go and get a coffee or something and come back, or might be in the car reading a book, or working on some paperwork, or checking emails, or whatever. I'm somewhere close. Okay, because again, I have the key and the code. Okay. If it's something that I can't do because I have to be at a meeting or I have to do something somewhere else, I do have what we call field supervisors, right? And I will give them the key and the code to be able to go and handle what I can't do, because I trust them with that. And then once they handle that, they give that key back to me. Okay. So, but I don't duplicate keys. People ask me that before too. I don't duplicate keys. So I don't say, hey, this is my field supervisor, I'm going to give him a key because he works for me. No, because he can go and duplicate keys, and he can give the key to somebody else, and they can go and duplicate the key, and they can give the key to somebody else. So I don't duplicate keys. Most of my sites have a key card anyway, where it's tapped. You tap it, it beep, it clicks, you open the door. That's what most of my sites have. Some of my private sites, like the chiropractors, the dentist office, they still have a regular key. So I have a big key ring full of keys. I got them all color coded on the ring to all of the facilities that we clean. I don't care if it's in the Pontiac, Michigan. I don't care if it's the west side, the east side, downtown. I have it all color coded. I know what key goes to what. I got a little tab on it. It's a big, like one of them big maintenance rings. I got a big maintenance ring, and I got a tab, and it might say downtown Detroit Dental Office, or uh, chiropractor office, the name of the company in Pontiac, because I got several different chiropractors offices, right, or several different dentist offices. So I specify on the little white tab. It's a little white tab, right, and it accompanying the key. You got a little hook, like a little, like a little key ring. Put it on the clip, boom. Put it on the whole big key ring. So that way I know where every key goes. Okay. And then I have several of those little white cards. Let me show you. I think I have one on me. Show you guys. Like these. Several different key cards you tap. It lets you in the building. I have a lot of different ones of these. I have them like in a little Ziploc bag. I also know this one goes to the main site where I'm at, but the other ones are like tagged, right? So I know what card go to what. Okay. So again, you might get a key card like this, and it's a tap, and that's how you enter the building, or you have an actual key. Okay. But anyways, I know I got off a topic, guys. Like I said, if you need to contact me, feel free. If you want me to take a look at your contracts, you want me to take a look at your marketing material, again, have an irresistible offer. That's how you able to pick up these contracts a lot faster. You just got to have an offer that just kind of blow them out the water. I like to call it an irresistible offer. Okay. When we take a look at your cards, your business cards, whatever you have a estimate to do. You need some help with doing the estimate. Let me know. Let's go ahead and get this money, guys. Let's make this count. Again, do not become a slave. Do not become a self-employed slave. Become an entrepreneur. Raise the bar. Okay? Do not tire yourself out in this business. Do not tire yourself out in this business. Develop your system, execute, and you will be successful. Okay? Well, that's going to do it for now, guys. I'm Fabio Hart. The only person that could ever stop you from starting up your own dreams and making it to the top is you.